Hello everyone, in today's video I'm going to show you how to make soda cup illustration using Inkscape, and it's pretty easy to do, so let's get into it. First of all, we need to set up our workspace first. To do that, you can click this to open Fill and Stroke tab, and then you can click this to open Align and Distribute tab, and make sure if it's last selected. After that, you can download this color palette. The link is in the description box, and then you can go to file and import the color palette. The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna grab rectangle tool, and then I'm gonna make a rectangle like this. I'm gonna reduce the width of the rectangle, and if you want to have the same size as it is, you can set your width to be 99 millimeters, and for the height is 205 millimeters. And then I'm gonna go to path and object to path. After that, I'm gonna go to edit path by nodes, and then I'm gonna select this to show transformation handles, and then I'm gonna drag my cursor to select both of the nodes, and you can see right here you can see the transformation handles, and then by holding shift I'm gonna slide it to the right. And I think that's good, and I'm gonna turn it off again, and I'm gonna deselect everything. After that, for the bottom part, I want to have it curved, and to do that I'm just simply dragging this down like this. The next part is this part, and to do that I'm just gonna grab rectangle tool, and then I'm gonna draw a rectangle like this. And we actually want the corner to be rounded, and to do that I'm just gonna drag this down like this. After that, I'm gonna go to selection tool, and I'm gonna set the height to be 30 millimeters, and for the width I'm gonna use probably 180 millimeters, and I think that's good. The next part is I'm gonna center that, and to do that I'm just gonna select the yellow part first, and then I'm gonna hold shift and click the blue part. After that, center on vertical axis. And for the straw, I'm gonna grab rectangle tool again, and I'm just gonna draw a rectangle like this. I'm gonna color it red. After that, I'm gonna make the corner to be sharp, so I'm just gonna click this. After that, by using selection tool, I'm gonna make it narrower like this, and I'm just gonna make adjustment for the height, and I'm gonna duplicate this by holding Ctrl and D, and I'm gonna slide it down to make it a little bit longer. And for this part, I'm gonna make it tilted to the right, and to do that I'm gonna click it again until you see this rotation tool, and then by holding Ctrl I'm gonna rotate that like this. Probably I'm gonna edit one more, and I think that's good. Then to make sure if it's on the top of this, I'm gonna turn on the snapping tool, and I'm gonna change this menu to simple snapping mode, and I think that's good. I'm gonna deselect everything first, and then I'm just gonna snap it right there. So we want to make this corner to meet, and I think that's good. After that, I'm gonna select both of them, and then I'm gonna go to path and union, and I'm gonna turn off the snapping tool. After that, I'm gonna scale it down to make it smaller, and I'm gonna put it right here, and I'm gonna click this to lower selection to the bottom. After that, I'm gonna make sure if it's centered. I'm just gonna eyeball that, and I think that's good enough. I'm gonna deselect everything, and the next part is the shadow of the cup. So I'm just gonna grab rectangle tool again and draw across this part. I'm gonna go to fill and stroke tab, and I'm gonna turn down the opacity so we can see how much the shadow that is gonna be in this cup. The next thing is I'm gonna duplicate this blue cup by holding Ctrl and D, and then by holding Shift, I'm gonna select this red transparent object. After that, I'm gonna go to path and intersection. After that, I'm gonna click this to lower selection one step, and I'm gonna go to edit path by nodes. Then I'm just gonna make it more perfect like this. And for the bottom part of the shadow, I'm gonna grab circle tool, and then I'm gonna make an oval like this. And I think I'm gonna make it bigger. And I think that's good. And make sure if it's cut like this. After that, I'm gonna duplicate the cup again. And to do that, I'm gonna hold Ctrl and D. After that, I'm gonna click this to lower selection one step. And I'm gonna select the circle first. After that, I'm gonna hold Shift and select the blue cup. And then I'm gonna go to path and choose difference. After that, I'm gonna color it purple first, and I'm gonna go to path and choose break apart. I'm gonna deselect everything, and for the excess part that we don't want, we can select both of them and then delete them. After that, we can color this cup to be like this, and to do that, we're gonna select them and use color picker to have the same color as we have right here. The last thing is the background, and to do that, I'm gonna grab rectangle tool, and by holding Ctrl and Shift, I'm gonna make a square like this, and then I'm gonna color it this blue. After that, I'm gonna put it right here and click this to lower selection to the bottom. After that, I'm gonna select all of the object of the cup, and then I'm gonna group selected object. After that, I'm gonna scale it down, and don't forget to hold Ctrl and Shift. And I think that's good. After that, I'm gonna select the blue square, the background, and then I'm gonna go to Align and Distribute tab, and I'm gonna click this to center on horizontal axis and click this to center on vertical axis. Then I'm gonna deselect everything. So that's it. If you have any question, you can ask through the comment section. And if you like this kind of video, you can check out the playlist that I link in the end of this video. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. And thank you for watching. Goodbye.